Hello everybody and welcome to another Dominaria United Premier Draft Best of One format. Today we have not too much inside this pack. We have an Evolved Sleeper and we're probably going to take it. These are some pretty good cards here in red and white. A lot of blue stuff here. But this is the only really good black card. A possibility that we get back the Maria's Outrider or possibly the Geothermal Bog. But passing up on all these blue things, I do need to be a little bit cautious. Well, I say that, and then we immediately get past a Talus Lookout, which is pretty good, but there's also a Phyrexian Rager. I feel like Phyrexian Rager is pretty much exactly what I want to go along with basically any black card. I'm going to take these early and often. They're quite good. I mean, I think it's even a better pick right now than Tailswipe, to be honest. And don't get me wrong, I don't really want to pass the Tailswipe, especially with how few green cards there were inside the first pack, but I do think it is appropriate to take the Rager after the Evolved Sleeper. Well, there's an Elosil Core. Not really much green here. There's some more blue stuff, including another Talus Lookout. But I think I'm supposed to take the Eerie Soul Tender or the Elosil Core. And I'm inclined to want to take the Elosil Core. If we end up inside a black-white, I'll be very, very happy with both of these cards. Artillery Blast might have been good as well, but I don't think the Shalai's Acolyte was correct. Who do we have at the table with us? Nobody I know off the top of my head. See if we can get this next pack to come to us. Alright, it shows up a little bit late. There's a Geyser, is another blue card going by. Also a Repossession, a Stall for Time. A good green card still in the pack is not good to see. Don't like that. Mana Worker's playable, but I think I'm more interested in the Repossession. There's a possibility that we're blue-black, but there's also a possibility that we're supposed to be black-green. We'll know as time goes on. Well, there's a Rotodrobic, and we already have an Elos, so it does seem to be the case that black-white might be the lane we're supposed to be in. Destroy Evil or Gibbering Barricade number 1. You know, I don't hate Gibbering Barricade. I was a little down on it before, but lately I've been a little bit more impressed. Destroy Evil I think would be fine as a one-of. I mean, I don't hate it, but I think I want the creature count more than the bad removal. Take Up the Shield or an Eerie Soul Tender. I do like Take Up the Shield. It's pretty good with Death Touch creatures, and we have 2 of those right now. Yeah, we'll take it. I wouldn't mind the Eerie Soul Tender, but ooh, Banalish Sleeper? That's great. Love to see that. Definitely means that we seem to be inside the right lane here. We have a on-color rare, well, 2 on-color rares. Oh wow, that's a lot of blue stuff coming back. None of it too good. We'll just take a Toxic A-Bomb. It's a playable. Like, the 2 life is pretty marginal. Especially if you're a bit more aggressive and you have ways to gain life, like Elos, Gibbering Barricade, Take Up the Shield. Can get some pretty good value out of your life total by trading it in for stuff. Well, I don't really want any of these cards, so I'm just going to take a Clockwork Drawbridge. There is a possibility that we end up with some number of defenders and we get past a Wingmantle Chaplain, which would be a nice way to pump up our value a bit. We have some good stuff, but always could use more. Inscribed Tablet's not a complete miss. I don't know if it makes it right now, but if nothing else, it's vault value, and our vault's at 28.3. I don't really think any of these cards are what we're looking for. We'll just take this one as the most annoying. Alright, it's going to be a moment before we see a pack, so I'll give it a pause. Samite Herbalist is definitely a playable. It's not very good, but it is playable. Alright, we made it pretty far into the first pack before we had an actual miss, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Contaminated Aquifer is not a bad land, it's just not very good for us. For us, there's Charismatic Vanguard, Writhing Necromass, which we do have a pretty high creature count right now, so the Necromass is solid. Also a Frightful Return, which I don't really like that much. We'll just take a Necromass. Alright, what you got? The Knight's quite good, and we don't have any removal to take over it. Only thing we would take otherwise is Sunlit Marsh. It may be the case that Sunlit Marsh is the correct choice here, but I used to take lands much more aggressively. Now I'm going to be a little bit more conservative and try and wheel it. Very greedy, but we have 0% chance of getting this back, and a very good percentage chance of possibly getting that back in comparison. Cut down is good premium removal. And we do need ways to interact, so we will take it. Alright, now there's a Crystal Grotto, a Vohar, and Aggressive Sabotage. Well, I don't really think we want to play any of these cards, but I guess if we have to take one, we're going to take the Vohar for vault value. I don't really want to play the Grotto. I just don't think it's good in this deck at all. Alright, it's going to be hopefully not too much longer on the next pack. Alright, we have a Pilfer, Argivian Cavalier, a Captain's Call. I think it's just going to be the Argivian Cavalier. Been very happy with this card. More creatures to gain us more life, things to sacrifice to the Gibbering Barricade. Just a generally strong card. Also, it is an Orc Knight. Pretty cool. Dominaria branching out. Being a bit more diverse in its armies. Banalish Sleeper. Phyrexian Warhorse, Captain's Call. Or Gibbering Barricade. Well, we only have 1/4 now. And the Warhorse is definitely fine. Banalish Sleeper, we don't have too many things that are completely like usable for that. We have the one Argivian Cavalier, the Phyrexian Rager. I think we're supposed to take a Gibbering Barricade or a Banalish Sleeper. We'll just take the Barricade. I think it has the highest potential upside for us. Splatter Goblin's definitely something I'm looking for. Argivian Phalanx or Phyrexian Warhorse. I'll just take an Argivian Phalanx. Been pretty happy with that card. Alright, well, unfortunately the land does not come back to us. Or wait, no, that was pick 2, wasn't it? Artillery Blast, I think at this point is the pick. I mean, running pretty low on removal. Land does not come back. We'll just take the Librarian. I don't want any of these, to be honest. Just take this as a 2. Crystal Grotto has a non-zero chance of making it at this point. And we would definitely replace these 2s with... I don't think I want any of this stuff. I guess we'll take this. With salvaged mana workers if they come back to me. So our deck's looking pretty solid. We definitely have the playables here. We just need to improve card quality. We're also looking for removal, specifically, as well as a possible way to... Ooh, that's nice. Great. More bombs, more everything, really. Just looking for everything good. Argivian Phalanx, Tribute to Urborg, Mesa Cavalier. In this situation, I think Tribute is the one we have to take. Now we have Captain's Call, Charismatic Vanguard, or Tattered Apparition. I guess Mesa Cavalier to a lesser degree. Yeah, I think we're supposed to take the Captain's Call or the Charismatic Vanguard. I'm inclined to take the Captain's Call. There's another drawbridge. Ooh, but there's a Sunlit Marsh, so we're just going to take that. Mana Fixing, good. Crystal Grotto coming out. Alright, so we're all good on playables here. We have enough cards to actually make the deck play at the very least. Not super duper good, but definitely not awful. We have some powerful cards. Argivian Cavalier, Resolute Reinforcements, or Eerie Soul Tender. Well, I think it's the Argivian Cavalier number 2 over the Clockwork Drawbridge or the reinforcements. Although I would play the Radiant Grove to try and get some splash value out of the Urborg repossession. Actually, I think I might just do that anyway. Since we have enough playables and everything. Coalition Sky Knight's definitely the kind of card that I wouldn't mind playing here. Can definitely help us get in with some of our 3-1s when otherwise we wouldn't be able to. Banalish Sleeper otherwise. Yeah, we'll just take this. Mesa Cavalier, stall for time. We don't have any way to do the blue splash. Hero's Heirloom. Well, we do have 2 legends, and we have some tokens, and we have a flying creature. So if there ever was a deck for this, I guess this would be it, wouldn't it? What's our creature count looking like? 19-6? Yeah, we'll take it. There's the Herbalist and also an Eerie Soul Tender. We'll just take the Soul Tender. Rare that doesn't do anything, or Banalish Sleeper number 2. Yeah. Argivian Phalanx coming back as a gift. Mesa Cavalier, I think I like it more than the Apparition. Drawbridge or Pilfer, I think we're going to take the Pilfer. Eerie Soul Tender, definitely. Yeah, well, we definitely have our pick of cards here. We have at least one way to make the Urborg repossession work. Well, actually 2 if you count the Mana Worker. I don't really want Meteorite, but I'm not playing Broken Wings. And Tattered Apparition that we're not going to play. Okay. Well, we didn't really get any of the premium tier removal at all. And there was probably a good chance to take a blue-black land to try and make the tribute to Urborg slightly better. Although the number of creatures we have is actually extremely, well, non-creatures we have is actually quite low. I think we do keep the Rada Drobic for the purposes of, at the very least, the Elossal Core. We also have Toxic A-Bomb that, well, I mean, those are zombies, technically, so I don't think the Drawbridge is going to make it. What is it, 17, 15, 16, 17, and 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 9, 9. Yeah, that seems appropriate. This is, I don't think, good enough. Kind of just winning the game through card advantage. Don't really have too many other game plans. With the Coalition Sky Knight and Mesa Cavaliers are flying creatures. A couple of Gibbering Barricades and a Phyrexian Rager. Definitely kind of medium. But not awful. I think we're going to cut a Toxic A-Bomb. How many creatures do we have here? A solid enough number. 21-8. Yeah, we can cut a couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think Samite Herbalist might actually be the worst of my 2s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a lot of 3s. Gibbering Barricade does seem like the worst one at this point. Although it's not bad with my Captain's Call. In fact, Captain's Call might actually be a cut at this point. All it does is make the Argivian Phalanx better and make the Banalish Sleeper slightly more workable. It might be good enough though. I'm not like totally opposed. I think if we keep the Captain's Call, we have to keep the Hero's Heirloom. I mean, for removal, literally all we have is Artillery Blast Cut Down. Like, we were definitely in the correct lane. Oh, we also have Tribute. We were definitely in the correct lane. Just everybody was snapping up that white and black premium removal. And so there was not really a good chance for us to snap it up ourselves. 19 creatures, huh? We can cut one more creature, and then the rest have to be either lands or creatures, or non-creatures rather. Maybe the Urborg repossession is just not really doing anything for me. Which means we're going to cut the Radiant, go up one of these. Well, now we have to decide which one we want to be uneven. I guess that we want the black mana more. We don't have any double white at all. And we have more black spells, I guess. So yeah, we'll do that 10-8, or 10-9 rather. Not the worst. 4 more cards. Toxic A-Bomb is the worst 2 we have. And we're looking a bit more defensive, so maybe that's not really that good. What is our creature count now? 18-7? Is it possible that we could work this down to a 16 land deck? I think the Hero's Heirloom is just grindy enough with the creatures we have that I want to keep it. This is a little bit clunky, but I think that's okay. Especially with the tokens from Captain's Call and Argivian Cavalier, Mesa Cavalier, Sky Knight. We just need a way to pump up things to get our opponent dead. If we ever equip this to like an Argivian Phalanx, suddenly we have a 6-5. Or like a 7-6 Writhing Necromass. That does seem like a good game plan. Alright, well I'm going to pause it for a moment, and when we get back we're going to have a completed deck and we'll be jumping right into a game. Alright, here's what we've settled on. We're down to a good 17 lands instead of 18, which I don't know how it ended up at 17, or 18 rather, but here we are. 9/9 mana base, cleanish curve, not looking too bad. I almost want to put a card in at the low end, like Toxic A-Bomb or Pilfer and pull out a land, but I think we have enough stuff to spend mana on between the Eerie Soul Tenders and kicking things and Evolve Sleeper that we're not going to feel too bad, especially with like the Hero's Heirloom equips and stuff, playing this many lands. Alright, let's go ahead and jump straight into a game. See y'all there. So if you've watched any of my drafts, you know that I tend to try to cut lands rather than add more in. I'm always looking for reasons and excuses to play 16 instead of 17, always looking to lower my curve. I think that aggressive decks are quite good in this format. I think that the combat tricks are amazing, and that any chance you get to kind of leverage aggression is really good. Alright, this hand doesn't look bad. Could be better, but it's not awful. Alright, well, what you got? Vivisector's fine by me. We're just going to play out the Mana Worker. And we will block. We have fine mana fixing here. Don't really need the double white too bad. Another Vivisector. Well, I mean, no chump check from the opponent's always nice. I think we're supposed to just play out the Banalish Sleeper, not kicked. Or maybe we're supposed to... I don't know. I don't think there's too many wrong answers here. I'm just gonna play this out raw. Don't really see a point in just kicking it and getting rid of one of my things. If they'd like to attack, I will intend to block here. They can play a white trick here, but I don't really think I have to... I don't really think I want to play around that. If they want to use a combat trick, that's fine by me. Colossal Growth is fine. And they didn't even kick it, so... They get a scry to the bottom, and then another a 1 to the top. Okay. And no follow-up. So the no follow-up is good for me. I mean, obviously it's not the best that we didn't draw anything to actually do in our, like, 18 creature deck here. Definitely favored to draw creatures. Pretty goofy that we didn't draw any of them. Alright. Coalition Sky Knight's fine, but I think we're going to hold on to it so that we can hold up, take up the shield. Alright. Take some damage there. Linebreaker Baloth. Well, that's definitely not a card I'm happy to see. Yeah, fair enough, I guess. So we can play out the Eerie Soul Tender and then equip up the Hero's Heirloom. That's 5 mana, we have 6. Or we can play out the Sky Knight and take up the shield. Or equip the Hero's Heirloom to it. I think I'm just gonna pass like this. Vine Shaper Prodigy is fine by me. Means we have a pretty okay turn of just take up the shield to get a good block on the Vivisector. That's not great. Well, we're gonna block. Doesn't seem like they have anything. We're gonna try to just deal 2. Yeah, we succeed. Okay, so this sounds crazy, but what I want to do is set up a situation where I can take up the shield and block this. Since we were never gonna get the artillery blast to kill that anyway. Alright, well, Eerie Soul Tender is definitely a card I think I need to cast here. Sadly. Alright, well, we mill some stuff I didn't really feel like milling. And then we were going to attack with this. Beat in some. If they have a removal spell for my Eerie Soul Tender, that would be bad. And they do. Bite down, I guess. Bone Splinters. That's actually not the worst. They did have to at least sacrifice their creature. They punch in for some more damage, but what's the follow-up? That's what's really going to decide this game. Writhing Necromass. Definitely not what I wanted to see from my opponent. Well, now we can play out a Soul Tender. Mill a lot of cards. Equip up the Soul Tender. No attacks, because if they kill this, we have to block with our Coalition Sky Knight. Soul of Windgrace. Alrighty, well... They have a land? No. Wait, they did? What the hell? Alright, I guess they did. I don't remember that getting there. Yeah, go do what you gotta do, buddy. Alright, well... Here's the thing. We're gonna block the Linebreaker Baloth. Or do we block the Writhing Necromass? I think we have to block the Linebreaker Baloth. I'll try it. Alright, well, we get there. So we only take 1 damage in this exchange. Or rather, we gain 1 life. I'm not really worried about the Raven Man, but... Alright, they're out of cards, but we're still in some serious trouble. Facing down a lot of stuff. We can get back a 3. What 3s do we have in here that we want to get back? The Banalish Sleeper we can cast, but that doesn't really do much for me. Just gets rid of a Raven Man. We could just play it out as a 3-1. Or we can get back an Evolved Sleeper. It's hardly the worst use of my time. This is going to be a 4 if we equip to something else. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to do it. Yeah, we'll get the Evolved Sleeper. We can have this get Death Touch. Then we equip this. I guess we don't equip it. I guess we will equip it here. No, we'll equip it here. That way it can profitably enough block the Raven Man, and we just take 5 this turn. Alright, well, not the most ideal. I think we have to just take it. Yeah, we're not going to be discarding a card. I think it's fine if we just take it for now. Going to 4 is not really ideal, but, like, the fact that they didn't have any better attacks definitely is good for me. Bone splinters, okay. Well, I'm definitely okay with that. Alright, well this is kind of unfortunate. Now we have a situation where we're kind of fucked no matter what we do. So we have to equip the hero's heirloom to this so we can block anything at all. And then we just have to pass the turn. Alright. When did they get another one in there? How many lands are in the graveyard? I guess I just missed one somewhere. Alright, so I'm gonna block this. And then this, just like that. Alright, not the most happy about that exchange. Now we're gonna do this and get the Evolve Sleeper, I guess, or maybe Rotodrobic. It does have Ward 2, so it's slightly more difficult to interact with. Yeah. You can cast this. That's the good news. So there are at least some number of outs for us to win this game. We're not in a great position, but we're not dead. Not on board, anyway. Could be now, though. They have 2 cards. Vine Shaper Prodigy kicked is not good, but doesn't kill me. They can pitch a land here and give Windgrace indestructible. Where are the lands coming from? I am very confused. Okay, I don't know. For some reason they just keep on getting lands back from the graveyard that I do not see. Pitch a land, give it indestructible? Very surprising. And they just get it for free again next turn anyway. Alright, well we draw a land, so now we're kind of in the equip here plan, take 2 off of the Vine Shaper Prodigy, and die. If they have basically anything at all. Not great. Well, now I know that there's a land there, but that's the only one. That's the only land. Like, there's nothing else. Activate, yep. We go to 2 with basically no outs in the deck. And another follow-up. Fair enough, I guess. And we draw, what, a land? Yep. Cool. Yeah, I mean, we did draw 11 lands. How many spells did we even have left in our deck at that point? Yeah, we did go through a lot of the deck. We milled some lands as well, like 3. Unfortunate. Not really a whole lot I think I could have done there. Their Mythic just did more work than my cards were able to. And I don't really have any hard removal to punish them. This is a fine enough hand, we'll keep it. Off the strength of the barricade to keep some aggression off of me. And the cut down to also make things nice and easy. I'd like them to play a Baird or something. Something stupid and goofy. I think I do kill it, don't I? Nah. If they want to play a land and bounce it, that's fine with me. But we will be blocking here pretty much no matter what. Alright, well, it does kind of muck up our plans a little bit, doesn't it? You know, play out the Mesa Cavalier and... Did we just cut down now? Yeah, I guess. Bye-bye. I don't think it's worth letting it live to their turn. They might have something that blows out the cut down pretty hard. They're definitely... They have a lot of cards, that's for sure. I mean... Looks like on paper we're only one behind, but like... Looking at the size of their hand, it feels like we're 1,000,000 behind. Okay. I mean, if they want to make the G2 amplifier trade for the gibbering barricade, I'm perfectly fine with that eventuality. Well, whatever it is, I just want them to cast spells. Sure. You got it. Oh, nice. Good work. I guess they had the perfect combo. Not really the most fun for me. Yeah, I'll play this out. Oh, great. It's only 2 of the best cards on my deck, that's all. Yeah, G2 amplifier, very cool. Yeah, another removal spell. Pretty cool. Very nice. Not really interested in taking 5, thank you. Now we have no cards in hand against their 3. And we draw another land. So we'll just play out a Sunlit Marsh here. Go ahead and pass the turn. Plan on getting back the Writhing Necromass. Great, their own creature. Alright. It's somewhat resistant to removal. You also have to take up the shield to hopefully make this a bit better. Very cool. Alright, well, I mean, I guess sometimes your opponent just literally has everything. I mean, 2 Flowstone Infusions, Timely Interference, Impulse, and Tolarian Geyser. It's a pretty sweet battery of spells. I mean, I never passed up on a single, like, actual good removal spell, and I never ended up with anything like that. And another land. See, this is why I try to cut down to 16, because this just happens like all the time otherwise. Yep. Cool. Alrighty, I'll just take another 6, I guess. I mean, someday they're going to run out of these, right? Or maybe not draw the optimal number of lands. No attacks, really? Alright, well, I'm just going to pause it till my opponent decides they want to do something. They've decided to not attack and play a Tallest Lookout. Yeah, if they could stop playing perfectly themed... Oh, what the hell is this? Another blue? Battlewing Mystic. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Nice work, buddy. Just have everything every turn of the game, huh? Alright. Fair enough, I guess. Okay, well, we're facing down 6 damage in the air every single turn now, with no recourse. Show me what you got, Opum. Yeah. 3 fresh cards in hand. They are now 4 cards deeper in the deck than me. Balmore, and let me guess, a spell to follow it up. Draw a card, kill one of my creatures. Pump your team. Yeah, sometimes your opponent just has literally everything. And it looks like they have it again. Is this +2/+1 for the whole team? Oh no, that. Yeah. Understandable. Alright, so... do they really have... Is this a joke? Like, come on. Literally every single card is perfect? Okay. I mean, sure, I guess. Hit me for 13. I go to 5. Jesus, literally every single card at the perfect opportune moment. What is it like, opponent? Hope I get to have that someday. Sheesh. Well, I mean, up until now I hadn't really played against the absolutely perfect blue-red deck, and now I have, and I can tell you, when they draw perfectly the optimal number of removal spells and interaction, and have perfect mana efficiency basically every turn, that it's quite strong. I've played against this person before. Well, we have a 1, we have a removal spell. I mean, don't think we have too many options other than to keep it. Don't really think mulling is a good idea here. Okay. Alrighty, what you got? Kill my Evolve Sleeper. G2 Amplifier. Is this really another great blue-red deck? Not really what I wanted to see, but you know. Yeah. What you got, Upham? Yeah, pass turn. If they want to kill it, I think I'm okay with that. We'll just play out the heirloom here. I mean, what are my other options? If they can kill it, they can kill it. Nothing I can do about that. Alright. Well, them doing nothing is fine by me. Question is, what do I do? We're gonna make it a 2/2. And Oppo's deciding whether or not they want to kill it. Alright, well, I'm going to pause till they decide if they want to do anything. Alright, opponent decides to have some respect for our time and just let me go. Yeah, I mean, I can't really do anything about that. Like, if you were going to do it, do it. Like, Jesus. Very strange place from Oppo here. Uncommon removal. I didn't even get the common removal. Take another one, I guess. Good news is RobotRallis is slightly more difficult to interact with. Not impossible, but slightly. If they have a 5th land, they can still kick, yeah. Well, Frostfist Strider, sure. Nice job. Guess they're not gonna pay. Eerie Soul Tender brings this down to 4 mana, which we still can't pay. So we're not going to. We're just gonna play out the Soul Tender and equip up the Heirloom. Mill 3 lands, definitely okay with me. Have a 5/2, no attacks. If they'd like to attack in with any number of things, I'm okay with that. They're going to do nothing. Well, nothing definitely feels fine to me. We're going to play out this. Well, actually, do we attack first? Yeah, sure, we'll attack with this. Sure, I mean, if they want to take 5 damage, I'm okay with that. Alright, we'll just play out this and pass turn. Do we equip? Yeah, sure, why not? 6/5 Vigilance? Okay, yeah. If they want to kill it, that's alright. We did draw a 7th land again, and we milled 3 in less than half of our deck. Sheesh. Alright, well, that's a good 11 lands out of our 17 land deck already out. 6 left in the 24 cards. It's a 1 in 4 shot, 25% chance of drawing a land from here. Oppo on the think about it plan again. We're going to pause till they decide to be more hasty with their decisions. 7th land for Oppo. Battlewing Mystic. Kicked. Really? Well, they play a bunch of good cards. Yeah, I mean, we're going to attack with the Argivian Phalanx, see what they want to do about it. Okay, well, they're on the think about it plan again. Okay, they're going to block double. No, they're going to block single. No, they're going to... No, they're... Okay, yeah, that's fine by me. And here we're just going to take out the shield. Keep our creature, make it really big. Kill both of theirs, they get a card. But now we have a 7/6 with Vigilance. Do we want to? No. Yeah, I mean, it does have indestructible until end of turn. But... yeah, I think we... No, if we dequip, it actually is going to be dead to specifically Jaya's Fire NATO. I don't want that. Okay, well, if they're going to do nothing again, I'm just going to make the same exact attack as last turn. Okay. Take out the shield. Alright, fair enough, then I don't get to assign damage. Yeah. We'll equip up the Hero's Heirloom here. And then play this out, and if it dies during combat on their turn, we get to use it to bring something back. Pretty easy attack for us. This another trick? No. Alright, well, we'll play out the land. Now we have 8 mana here. So we can get back the Phalanx, which would still cost us a lot of mana. 5 to be exact. Or we can get back the Evolve Sleeper and just play it now. Yeah, we'll take this for sure. But we won't do anything with it. We're just going to equip here. Make it more difficult for them to handle that. They're going to play out their 10th land and a Pixie Illusionist unkicked. Well, that's not very good for them. We're going to play out the Evolve Sleeper for sure. It's the first step. Play out the land. Go ahead and attack with my Vigilance creature. I don't really care if they block or not. They won't. Alright, and we're just going to suit up here. Suit up here. We can draw a card now. Yeah, I think we do that. Yeah, we'll do that. Well, stall for time doesn't really bother me. They can have some stun counters. I am unbothered. Yeah, not really worried about the 1 damage beatdown plan. Phyrexian Rager, that is a redraw. Yeah, I'll play it. We are by no stretch of the imagination. Oh, sure. Only leaves up 2. We can play this out and it leaves up the 1 card draw. Or we can just draw 2 cards. Let's draw 1 card now. Yeah, I'll play out the Splatter Goblin. We already drew 2 cards off the Evolved Sleeper. I think that's sufficient value for now. They can get in a damage here if they want to, but doesn't seem like it's worth. Alright, so I think the clear choice is, no, we're not going to do it with that mana. We're going to do it with this mana. Equip up to the Splatter Goblerino. And go in for attacks. Attack all. Sure. Play out the Phalanx? Doesn't actually matter. No, we don't. They're dead. Like, there's no sequence of draws that gets in there here. Thrill of Possibility's not going to do it. Alright, well, sorry Fujiyama. Is that a Samurai Cop reference? I don't know. Alright, well, we found ourselves 1 victory. We did draw relatively well, I suppose. We did draw some nice stuff. We haven't seen our uncommon at all, and we've been pretty unlucky about drawing 2s on turn 2. LSG. Okay. Well, you're no LSV, but you'll do. Alright, we have some stuff. We'll keep it. We have fine mana, so we'll run out the mana worker on turn 2 and see if they'd like to kill it. In fact, we would love for them to kill it, so we're going to play out the swamp, incentivize them to do it. That's amazing for me. Alright, well, we're just going to first attack. Chump check from the opponent, they pass the test. And we're going to kick and sacrifice the mana worker. Bye-bye, Beard. Might have been better to sacrifice the Banalish Sleeper. They might have a lot of one-toughness things in their deck. Juniper Order Rootweaver is not a card I'm very threatened by. Now I think we're supposed to play out the RobotRallis or the Coalition Sky Knight. Yeah, I think we're gonna not attack and just play out the Sky Knight. Next turn we have attack for 5 in the air, play out the RobotRallis. They might just kill the Coalition Sky Knight, but I mean, I can't do anything about it, so I won't. Oh yeah, I'm not blocking, so you can have the 2 damage. Alright, well, 3 lands. Argivian Cavalier, yeah, it does make Banalish Sleeper much, much worse. But we do have some fine stuff here. RobotRallis means that it's a little difficult to just untap and kill this. So we're gonna go to combat. Enlist the help of my 3/1. Punch them for 5. Are we supposed to play out the Gibbering Barricade first? Maybe? Now I'll play out the RobotRallis. We can play out the Gibbering Barricade next turn and then sacrifice it if they try to remove it. I don't want to get blinded by the potential value of RobotRallis here. It really is just a 3/3 Vigilance Ward 2 right now, and they functionally can't interact with it other than using combat tricks to get through it. And at this stage of the game, I mean, if they're just going to attack with that, I'll just take it. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I'm winning the damage race by a lot right now. Alright, doesn't seem like they have a 4th land. If they do, I'm pretty sure they just play it and cast a spell. Alright, well I'm gonna... oh, no, there we go. Flowstone Kabu. Yeah, that's definitely a fine card. But I don't really know if it's good enough here. We're gonna go to combat, beat in with this and with this enlist. If they want to trade the Kabu, yeah, they will. Yeah, we'll just kill the Kabu. Fine by me. They go to 9. We're going to play out this and the Gibbering Barricade. Now they're taking a shitload of damage in the air. And we have a great defender on the ground. Yeah, I'm not really worried about this. Once again, we're just not going to block. I think the Gibbering Barricade is serving us well, having us only take 4 a turn. Well, Balduvian Berserk is definitely a fine card, but... they take 7 here, go to 2. Now all we have to do is not die from this position. Worst they could do is +2/+1 to the whole team, which is 2, 3, well, 4, 8, 11, 14. And we can block something and we live. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the game's over, buddy. They have to remove both of my flying creatures. I don't want to put in the preemptive GGs, but like, I can't think of any cards that win them the game here. Seems like it's just a loss. Alright, we're going to give it a pause till they decide that they've had enough. One out that they do have is if they enlist up the Balduvian Berserker and I block, and they somehow can kill the Berserker with like something that's 1 mana. They can they can Flowstone Infusion the Berserker, give it higher power, less toughness, which would kill the Gibbering Barricade, deal the rest of the damage to the Coalition Sky Knight, and then they can use a spell to kill the Mesa Cavalier. That would actually keep them alive, but this is not going to do it. Gonna pass to blockers and block this, because what does that leave us at? That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's actually more dangerous than I'd like, so we'll block here. +2, +1 does not kill us. It deals 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Puts us to 2. Currently there's no sequence of spells. Yeah. Called it. Unfortunately for my opponent, that leaves them dead. Good game, Oppo. Yeah, I mean, they had a Baird. They didn't have anybody to turn it on besides the Argivian Cavalier. So if I didn't kill it, I probably would have died in that game for sure. Alright, well, 2-2, climbing our way back up to the top, hopefully. See y'all in the next game. Okay, we do manage to find the next game, and, well, we have a very dicey hand. We're going first against what looks to be a deck that's not awful. I mean, it's a solid enough player. We'll lead on Swamp, and we're going to have to play out one of these sleepers for sure. Well, they're on the mall, so we could have taken one, I guess, but technically... Oh, really? You have a Pixie? Yeah. Alright, well, we do draw a land. That's the good news. So we're just gonna pass it here, I think. And depending on what they play this turn, we might have to kill this second main with the Artillery Blast. What the hell is this? Is this... Oh, okay. Interesting. Electrostatic Infantry is not a card I'm happy to see. Yeah, we're gonna kill the Pixie. That way they can't sacrifice the Pixie. Then we're just going to cast Dominaria Sleeper, kicked. They got some red cards, so let's have them not cast those for a while, hopefully. Alright, well, they have white mana. There's a Soaring Drake. I think I'm just gonna play out the Rager. We have some stuff. Yeah, miss on lands. Maybe this gets there. Maybe this is enough. They'll attack for 2, fine by me. We'll return the favor if they don't have a good follow-up. Missionary unkicked. Okay. Well, that's a bit annoying, that's for sure. I think we're supposed to play out the Sleeper, but they can counter that, can't they? Yeah. So if we play out the Barricade, it's much better. We take another 2 in the air, but it is a solid defender. Yeah, we'll just pass like this, intent on double blocking. There's red mana, but they only have 2 cards in hand. Alright, so if this is what their board looks like, we can definitely beat this. What's the follow-up? Second main, Coalition Warbrood. Okay. We don't draw land again, but we do have some sizable stuff. We have some things. A 4th land would have been amazing for me, But instead, I think we have to do the Banalish Sleeper kicked plan. See what they intend to sacrifice. We'll sacrifice a Rager. You kind of have to hope that the last spell in hand, or last card in hand, isn't something incredible. They'll sack that, fine by me. We intend to double block here. Alright, well if they're only going to attack for 2, that's fine. We are in some trouble, we're at a pretty low life total. Well, we can play this turn. That's the good news. No attacks. We gain some life, and if they remove it, we're life neutral. Alright, they're just going to attack again, no blocks. We're still stuck on 3 lands here. Yikes, that is a very bad card for me to see on the other side of the table. We have the salvaged mana worker, but we don't have anything in the... well, we have artillery blast. Okay, so now we're in a really rough spot. We're gonna play out the mana worker, hold up the tribute, and I think we have to kill the Tura. Yikes, not happy about this one, that's for sure. Yeah. Now block here. Playing around instant speed removal this way. Alright, well we do kill that, that's the good news. Alright, well what else do we have in the deck that actually kills that? Did we literally not have anything? It might be the case that we don't actually have anything. So Necromass is our best bet for catching up on the damage race. We can peck in for a lot of damage with it. It's possible that this 2-2 might not go the distance if we can compete. Alright, well another land's good for me. We'll go to 9. They have a spell here or something? They have something for sure, don't know what it is. Alright, well we drew another land, so we're just going to play it out. Go to combat. Attack here. They'll just take some damage. Maybe? Cleaving Skyrider kicked. Deal 1 to my Banalish Sleeper. Yeah, not gonna lie, not happy about them having another flyer. We'll sacrifice it to Gibbering Barricade, I suppose. I guess it's better than the alternative, which is... I mean, do nothing. We'll play it out. We go to 6 here. God. Okay. They also have another spell in hand. Whatever it is, I don't like it. Is there a world where we can make this work? I think the first step is to attack with the Necromass, and maybe the Splatter Goblin as well. We have to play out the Evolved Sleeper first, and then the Argivian Phalanx, I think. We could sacrifice some creatures to the Gibbering Barricade to gain ourselves some life. They have a free block there, though. Yeah, we're just going to attack with the Necromass. They're going to block there, fine by me. Yeah, I mean, we're dead to +2/+2 on their whole team anyway, so I don't really think that matters that much. I guess just a straight up +2/+2 spell would also kill us. But in these colors, I think it's more likely that they just have a way to kill us outright anyway. So we're just going to play out the Soul Tender now. Just add more beef to the ground. Sure. That doesn't put a counter on anything, but I'm glad that they spent mana, I guess. So, what do our attacks look like next turn? Not great. Alright, well they draw a shitload of cards. What you got? They have a combat trick, we're just dead, so... Well, don't waste our time, Oppo. It is your go. If you have the spell, just cast it. I mean... Surely you understand you are mortal. There you go. Good job. Figured it out. You figured out Blue's Clues. Alright, well, my opponent decided that holding their dick in their hands was a waste of time and that they should cast the spell they drew. And we lost. Not the most happy resolution to the draft. Doesn't really feel like we had the optimal setup to win that draft at all. But not much we could do about it now. Alright, well those are the packs. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you got some kind of value out of it, maybe learned something. You've been watching RobotRallis. Please feel free to leave a like, possibly comment, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in, and have a good night.